Hello everybody, welcome to episode 102 of Hetrick's Morning Mug. Today is the 25th of June 2020. I'm actually recording this in the morning. What? From an undisclosed location. So, getting started today. It is National Handshake Day. The last Thursday in June is National Handshake Day. I would discourage handshaking at this point unless you are shaking hands with someone with whom you are dwelling on the regular. So there's, the air fist or elbow bump, the fist bump, the classic teenage boy thing. Sup? I always thought it was like someone sneezing, so be mindful. Still wanted to acknowledge that was going on today. Today is the Day of the Seafarer. So that was put into place by the International Maritime Organization to try to bring some awareness and recognition for the amount that we rely on sea transport. I ordered a craft, we'll call it, for quarantine. Ordered at the end of April. It still has yet to come. It said it's being shipped. After doing some digging, I think it's on a container ship. That they wait till it's full and then they send it. So who knows how long it'll take till I actually get it. But so thank you to all of those who help us get all the goods and things that we need. I don't think the average person realizes how nice it is to be able to go to a store and get items that have come from all over the globe. Globalization, man, it's pretty impressive when you think about it. Today is Log Cabin Day. Log Cabin Day. Now, when you think about log cabins, to me, I think of Lincoln Logs. I think of, getting out and just, being away from the busyness of the world. But if you think about the Lincoln Log thing, oh, what? Lincoln? But that music is all about your daily dose of Hanks. Daily dose of Hanks. So your daily dose of Hanks today is connected to log cabin. You think Abraham Lincoln? That's what I thought. Did a little Googling. This is me Googling. And realized Tom Hanks is, I got the exact, Abraham Lincoln's third cousin 4 times removed. Whoa. Pretty impressive. He has a relative who was siblings with Lincoln's mother, Nancy. So I was actually just talking about this with some people earlier this week about what's this once removed family type situation. Oh, I have a graphic. Okay, let's see if I can do this upside down. It's kind of the teacher trick. So let's imagine this is a family tree. And we have the dad and the mom, Brian and Lisa. Brian and Lisa have children, Jeff and Jess. The relationship of Jeff and Jess, they are siblings. They are siblings. And we fast forward in their life story. Jeff has a son named Orlando. I asked for name donations and this is what I got. Jeff has a son named Orlando and Jess has a daughter named Jennifer. The relationship between Orlando and Jennifer, they are cousins. And we can even extend that to say first cousins. So the relationship between Orlando and Jess is the aunt, Orlando is the nephew. Okay, pretty standard, we can go with that. Let's go further. Orlando has a son named Fred, and Jennifer has a daughter named Betty. The relationship between Fred and Betty, they are cousins. They are not first cousins. They are what we call second cousins. Thusly. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Here's where it starts to get a little complicated. Changing colors for this. So, the relationship between Orlando and Betty. They're not first cousins. They're not second cousins. Betty is Orlando's first cousin once removed. One generation removed. If Jennifer were removed, they would be first cousins. Okay? But what this relationship is, first cousins once removed. That's where that comes from. So you could map all of this out. 4 generations removed in the case of the relationship between Tom Hanks and Abraham Lincoln. So this is 1 generation removed. We have to go 3 more to make 4 generations removed. Okay, so if you ever see that language, you could just say, oh, we're cousins. That works. But if you're a genealogy person, this could be helpful. So that is your daily dose of Hanks. Not only related to Mr. Rogers, but also Abraham Lincoln. Pretty cool. Makes me wonder who I'm related to, and maybe I don't want to know. But that being said, just because you're genetically related to someone doesn't necessarily mean that you carry the same qualities or characteristics, or you're a good person or a bad person, because we don't have a choice into what family we are born into. We don't have a choice. So keep that in mind. All right, back to our stuff. I've been trying to mix up the music a little bit. This one's called Bongo Madness. Bongos. All right, back to our list of things today. Happy birthday, 1852, Antoni Gaudi. So he is a Catalan Spanish architect and designer, the father of Catalan modernism. If a great place to go to see Gaudi's work would be Barcelona. I'm going to put some links in. La Sagrada Familia, the church designed by Gaudi. Park Güell, fascinating place. I was in Barcelona. I didn't think I'd really like it. I'm like, oh, it's the park. Okay. But just how nature inspired him in some of his work, really cool patterns and textures. And so if you're not familiar with Gaudi, take a look at those links I'm going to post for you. Born this day, 1903, George Orwell, author, Animal Farm, 1984. There's actually been a big uptick in people buying / getting from the library. 1984. That would be an interesting discussion, comparing what our world is now and to what degree did Orwell predict it when he wrote 1984. I don't know. This day, 1876. This is not an uplifting one. Let's change the music to appropriately. This one will be good. 1876. The Battle of Little Bighorn. The 7th U.S. Cavalry with Brevet Major General George Armstrong Custer. One of those. Humans are inherently good. As a historian, sometimes I feel like we get a limited view of someone and you formulate an opinion. Custer's one of those people that I just get, I start to tense up just because all I know of Custer are things related to situations like this. So the Battle of Little Bighorn would be considered Custer's last stand. Cheyenne and Sioux, Native Americans fighting, and it was a victory. So on the part of the Sioux and the Cheyenne. So short-lived victory, but it's going to significantly intensify the discrimination and eventually governmental policies against Native Americans. This particular battle perpetuated the stereotype that Native Americans are uncivilized and savage, which is definitely not true. Not true. So that's a toughie. This day, 1941, Franklin Roosevelt. I had never heard of this before, so this fascinated me. Signed Executive Order 8802, banning racial discrimination in the defense industry. So think 1941. We're gearing up. We're not in the war yet until the very end of 1941. But if we think about the Lend-Lease Act, the United States is producing war materials that is going to be lent or leased to the Allies. We have to increase that production. There had especially since Reconstruction, the end of the Civil War, migrations of Black Americans to the North, the industrial centers of our country, and there were a lot of discriminatory practices for hiring those individuals. This is the first presidential directive on race since Reconstruction. It was in 1941. And it's hard with these things because you see it as a victory, but also in what other areas was discrimination completely legal in our country during that point? Was this a progressive move on the part of Franklin Roosevelt, or was it out of necessity because we needed to build so many things so fast that we needed the labor? So feel free to share your thoughts on that. 1966, Paperback Writer, Writer, Writer by the Beatles. Hits number 1. All that. Yeah, there we go. An actual morning mug in the morning. This is so wonderful. I forgot what this is like. It's been so long. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So as always, take a look at the description. I have a whole bunch of things in there for you. The Spotify playlist is in there if you need something new to listen to. Don't forget, through the communication methods listed there, or you can always post a comment. Let me know what you want me to talk about. If you want me to go on 1-minute rants about things, it helps me to have a little bit of direction, knowing what you want to hear about. So until tomorrow, my dear friends, behave, be good, be kind, recycle, wash your hands. Wash your hands and no handshakes. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. No handshakes. Okay, shake virtually with you. There you go. It counts. It counts. All right, peace.